Alright, YouTube, we got two packages. Got one from my boy Crispy Line, then we got another one from Gamma. We got that Protege, which is the wireless charger. That's hard. Sound consistent too. We also got that Uno as well. So, we got the Uno too. That sounds pretty good. No razor. First one is. It's hard. Go back. It's more of my movement right now. I like this one. It's on top. We got a black standard edition one and a white standard edition one. We're finna get to this video and see what today consists of. It's finna be a nice clean, low ball taper, curl sponge. It's for my boy Jalen for his birthday, so this should be a real goodie.
So to kick this video off, I just went in by picking my client hair, now assisting it with my Wall 1919s that got my Andis Master Blade on there. I want to give a huge shout out to my boy Filthy Blends for creating this mod and this hack. One of the best innovators, modification men in the game. I think it's so bright that somebody was able to hop in that type of lane to be able to add an Andis blade on the walls. I just think it's super dope, super innovative, and it's just different, man. So shout out to Filthy Blends again. I just want to make sure that I can make it through all of this hair, trying to get this fro down to an even look. It's for one of my boys' birthday, my homie Jalen in this video. This was a birthday cut for him, so I had to make sure everything was straight, had to make sure everything was even before we break into something crazy today. My next step is to go in with my Babyliss FX's skeletal trimmers, and I'm gonna create a rainbow shape ball line towards the bottom of his taper area, because I'm gonna give him a crazy taper today. This is gonna look super, super clean. And in order to make things look clean, you just gotta be patient and you gotta set in indefinite guidelines that's gonna set you up. My next step, I go in completely open at the top of the beard area. I figure because the hair isn't that thick, I should be able to just blend this area in before I hop into that taper side. So I went open halfway and not fully closed here, and we gonna pretty much have this side blended. My next step is to go completely open, giving myself about a half of an inch on the side panel. I want to make sure I create some room. I want to open this area up just so I can prep it for a nice taper and nice transition. My next step is 1.5 completely open on my Babyliss FX's. I just want to create some more room. One thing I'm starting to notice about a lot of these fros, some people fros, they keep, you know, their hair all the way around the edges of their hair. Some people don't trim their sides down at all. And I just think, you know, that's like a demographic thing. Certain places like they tapers to where their hair lay down on the side. And I know just in Chicago, that's what a lot of people do. They like to expose more of their hair or their taper. I know not everybody like they fro cut down, but that's just a part of the game and how we do it out here. My next step is to go in with a 1/8 guard. I started open, now I'm completely closed, and I'm just creating more transition. So as you guys notice, I set my ball line first. I did my open line. I did a 1.5, a 1/8, and that's what I'm just working at right now. And now we're 1/16, and this is halfway closed. And as you guys can see, I'm getting more and more of a transition, and I'm just watching this thing come together. As long as you know your guard system, as long as you know your measurements, it's gonna go. And now completely closed, because now I'm finna work this line out. And as you guys can see, just going close and just flicking at it with the corner of my teeth, not laying the blade completely flat, but at the same time showing a lot of respect to this taper, not trying to overly play my part and letting it come natural, brushing one, fading one, stepping back, you know, really looking at the taper. And that's super important. It just really depends on how intricate you want to be with your process, how in tune you want to be with your clippers and your client. Me and my boy was having a full-blown conversation, but at the end of the day, anything I do is out of respect for my haircut. I can talk because I cut this client hair so many times. I don't want y'all to be doing this with a lot of people that y'all haven't, you know, cut before. You always want to make sure that that haircut is perfect, but I've been cutting my homie for the last couple years, so I know how that go. My next step is to go in with my babeless skeletons, and I'm going up about a whole inch because, as you guys can see, the hair tends to drop further down the nape area, and I just want to clear this whole panel out, and I want to open up some room just so I could create a dope transition and make everything fall together. My next step is completely open, about another inch, and as you guys can see, I'm doing bigger guidelines in the back because of the nape area drop a little bit lower, so I'm able to create that transition, you know, at a higher rate, but at the same time a more efficient rate. When it's in a tighter area, it is, of course, it's harder to blend, but at the end of the day, you know, you just take your time, you brush one, fade one, and if you in this for real, if you really trying to cut hair, you really trying to learn how to do this, really pay attention to your situation, analyze your situation for what it truly is, and pay attention to your clippers on every stroke or every flick. So as you guys can see, I went in halfway, then I went in completely close, and I'm getting a nice transition, and everything is becoming really blurry. My next step is 1/16, and I'm nudging at this line. I don't want to overly play it, so I'm flicking, you know, in a small C shape, halfway close here, and I'm still getting more of a transition. I'm taking my time, I'm analyzing my situation, I'm letting the hair feed its way through my guard, and it's happening on its own. One thing that I get in my comment section a lot is people always ask, what is good texture hair? And good texture hair to me is just more of a softer texture, not saying that people who don't have a soft texture don't have a good texture. They just got more of a kinky style, or more of a tighter curl pattern. But when we say good texture in Chicago, we just talking about a softer pattern. So I just read so many comments of people being so mad over texture hair or not texture hair. Like, I just think it's super crazy. Like, I feel like people hop in the comment section to complain about anything on my channel, and I just figured that that's a part of the game, and I can't really change people's mind or manipulate their mind or anything. So I mean, I just continuously say what I say. It's just my lingo. That's how I talk. That's how I always been talking. So if y'all could keep up with me, I promise y'all, any new barber that's out there or any barbers that's really focused on bettering their craft, it's gonna happen. You just gotta take your time, stay consistent, always brush one, fade one, and be happy doing what you're doing. That's what we do. We having fun, we chilling, we kicking it, we letting it all come together, you know, because this is just what we do. And as you guys can see, that nape area looking crazy. So I do the same steps on this side, but y'all know what I use this side for. And just when you go through life, I want y'all to be able to appreciate everybody that walk in your life, whether they in there for a split second or whether they in there for forever. Everybody not meant to be in your life. Everybody not meant to see your journey through and through. No matter if it's relationship-wise, if it's family-wise, if it's friend-wise. I don't want just because y'all fall out with people in life that, you know, that's end-all be-all. Some people is meant to be in your life for that split second. Some people are meant to be in there just to give it that spark, and that's it. Everybody not meant to see your journey. Stay focused, stay locked in, stay consistent. See your journey through and through. That's exactly what it's about. With a little bit of passion and a little bit of effort, anything is achievable. So I'm just pulling a lot of hair back while using my brush to bring a lot of hair forward, and I want to set myself up for this kill shot. Y'all know what time it is. We super focused, we locked in, and that fun part finna happen for me. So my next step, I want to go in with my M spritz, and I just basically want to go in and spray this in the hair. I want to make sure all of my hair is brushed forward, brushed down, and I'm bringing everything forward just so I can make sure that I could get a solidified line and freeze these hairs. And as you guys can see, I go in with my Babeless FXs, and I'm creating my straightaways, getting real nice prominent lines. As you guys can see, this is gonna be a clean one, man. It's gonna be super clean. And as I work my way at the top of the ear, I use the corner of my blade to convert myself and work all the way around the ear, staying super professional, staying super clean, staying intact, not really digging into the neckline at all, and just, you know, trying to solidify real clean lines on this client. Now I'm doing the back of the beard line. Something that's super important is just my frame at work. When I do the back of the beard line, all you guys know that I'm setting myself up. This is my setup for my kill shot. I do the neckline, the back of the beard line, and that's literally my silhouette for everything in my hairline. And it's for the top of the beard. It sets myself up just so I can really focus on the front of my lineup, everything. This is just all frame at work, and it's just a part of my process. You know, some people line up different than me. This is just how I do it. My next step is to plant in the middle. I work my way all the way to the left. I'm noticing that my client don't get too much of a lineup to really mess with, because his lining is more of a tighter area. So you know that this client specifically won't lose his hair no time in the future. He got a real full lineup. All his hair is intact and it's super close, you know, to the forehead. So that's super dope. Just anytime you looking at your client's head, you can analyze and you can tell, like, yeah, he don't have no weak spots really in his lineup at all. This lineup is you know, it's there. This is a full lineup right here. I'm just taking my time, creating lines, and making sure that everything go in its place. My next step is to use my boy Sean Cut's hair color enhancement card, assisting it with my Beam Team Cordless Compressor XL, and assisting it with my color no drip. Yes, I have my own compressor. Yes, I've designed my own color. My color is completely waterproof. It is not a water-based product at all. Water cannot move this product. Shampoo cannot move this product, which is why I always use this specific color. And always using color always helps me, and I'm not never worried about my client hopping in the shower and losing color, because my color is completely waterproof. It is not a water-based product. It's an alcohol-based product. Only antiseptics and alcohol can bring this product up. So if you guys really paid attention to it, if you guys really did a lot of research on my product, then you guys understand that this thing cannot be moved by just a shower or when they go to sleep or anything like that. So my next step, I want to go in with a Barber magic pencil, and I want to create nice thin lines, because I want to conceal this line. I want to bring out some crispiness to it. It's my boy's birthday, so I want him to be as crispy as possible. I want this look to be as clean as possible, and that's my whole part of my job. That's what I do. It's exactly what I do. I set myself up for that kill shot. I set myself up for them picture ready Kodak moments in the shop, and as you guys can see, this thing coming together really well. Small thin lines create nice heavy reactions and creating a nice contrast on the skin. So once I use my clippers to blend the lines, all of it is gonna look 10 times better. My next step, go in with my clippers, and now my clippers is basically blending out this line, create more of a contrasted, crispy look to it. And I like that effect off the strength of when I do take my pictures in the shop, or when I do take my thumbnails for some of my YouTube videos, that the pictures hit, like it give it a nice look. And I just want y'all to understand that everybody gonna use different products. It's not a product that I feel is for everybody, but it does nothing but takes my products or takes my ending result to the next level and creates so much more of a clean look. So shout out to all of my clients to let me just do my thing when they sit in the chair. Again, it's my dog Jalen. This was for his birthday, so I had to make sure he was crispy, including getting the nose hairs and everything, man. That's what this video is about. This video is about being clean, and y'all know how I roll. Cleanliness is next to godliness, and it gets no higher than that. Any grown man out there with a solidified haircut that's super clean, it gets nowhere near better than them. That's a high level of professionalism. I look like a high caliber man, and that's what it's about. It's about creating that consistency. Shout out to my boy Crispy Lines right here for sending a couple of these dope razors to me. Go hit up Crispy Lines on Instagram. This is the razor that I've been using throughout most of my videos. It's super clean, compact, keep your razor exposed, and you able to lay the law when it comes to using a clean razor like this. I'm able to get efficient lines. I'm able to get real crispy, clean tightness, and as you guys can see, it's super clean. This is the setup of a Turkish razor, so if y'all, you know, looking for this razor, go follow my boy Crispy Lines on IG, and man, they got some nice things on there, some nice razors. As you guys can see, I just took this one out the packet right before this video, and I'm laying a law with this one. Stretching my client's skin, angling that razor at a 45-degree angle, creating a fire ending result. Shout out to my boy Jalen again. I want to give a huge shout out to my dog Germ Boomin for putting together this Slow Jams remix. This sample's super hard. The 808 kick, I hear the hats. It's just super perfect, man. Shout out to my boy Germ. Germ always going crazy for this channel. If y'all like the music, go follow my brother Germ Boomin on Instagram. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Don't never forget that. That's one of the most important things when you creating real clean lines and precision. Super clean, dog. Super clean. Now I'm going in using a Prodigy shaver that I unlocked in this video, and as you guys can see, super crazy. I'm going in, spraying some water. I want to loosen this hair curl pattern up. I want to wet it, and then I'm going to go in using some rapid lotion, some mousse, just so I could create more of a drastic effect in terms of activating these curls and getting these curls to pop. My next step is to go in with my curl sponge, and I'm just basically whipping this thing left and right, taking my time, and solidifying these curls. And this is what it come down to. In an imperfect world, we do get clients that come in for these birthday haircuts, but as barbers, it's up to us to change that outcome, and there's no way to give it up on my channel but this way, so let's lock in. Hashtag TBT in that comment section, hashtag Glacier Gang, y'all know what time it is. We super focused, super locked in this year. Big shout out to my boy Jalen, big shout out to my dog Jern Bowman for the music, and if you was able to make it through the 16 to 17 minute video, I appreciate you so much, and may God bless.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That one's crazy.
Yeah, you snapped it that, man.
That one's crazy. I was taking one. Let me know what y'all think about that joint in the comment section.